This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we need to move on to cost volume profit relationships as we begin to move into stage 3 for our profits, for our product projects. In cost volume profit relationships, what we are trying to determine is at what point a quantity of sales will yield a zero profit. We're trying to determine at what point a quantity of sales will make the profit zero. It won't be a loss. It won't be a profit. It will be zero. So let's begin to look at how we will do that. And as we began to talk about last time, and with manager accounting, we have to make decisions. How many products we're going to sell? What's the profit going to be? And we talked about last time that we have to move to a new classification of costs. And we have to classify costs between fixed and variable. Costs will now be classified between fixed and variable. And I gave you 3 formulas that you needed to memorize. To find out the quantity that will cause us to break even is fixed cost divided by the UCM. For a target profit, it's fixed cost plus the target profit divided by the UCM. And then for a target loss, it's the fixed cost minus the target loss divided by the UCM, which is the contribution margin. So let's see if we can work with this in an example. Suppose we're selling computers. The unit selling price is $1,500. Variable costs are $500 and fixed costs of $24,000. So those are our assumptions. The contribution margin, a key thing that we're concerned about is selling price minus the variable cost. That gives us our contribution margin. So the data we need: selling price, variable cost, total fixed cost. Then we need to calculate the unit contribution margin, which is the unit selling price over the variable cost. So let's look at what happens if we sell one computer. So let's assume that we sell one computer. The selling price of that computer is going to be shift dollar sign $1,500. That's the selling price. The cost of that computer is going to be $500. So our contribution margin is $1,000. So what this means is that every time we sell a computer, we make $1,000. But our fixed costs, we said, were $24,000. So when we sell one computer, we lose $23,000. When we sell one computer, we lose $23,000. So the total fixed cost was $24,000. We sold one item, and so we've recovered $1,000 of fixed costs. Are there any questions? Are there any comments?
Professor Boyd, was the sales and variable cost a given?
They're given.
Okay.
So we go back here to our assumptions. You are always going to be given this information. Selling price, unit variable cost, total fixed cost. You're going to be given, and then you calculate the contribution margin. So we always sell one item so that we can look at what that net income, what it's going to look like for one item. Suppose we sold 10 items. So the quantity sold is 10 items. What's it going to look like now? Our sales will be 15,000. How do we get 15,000? We multiply 10 times 1,500. Our costs are going to be 5,000. We multiply 10 times 500. So now our contribution margin is now total contribution margin is 10,000. The unit is still the same. Our fixed costs are still 24,000. And now our net loss is $14,000. So 10 items, we did better, but we still are at a loss. So the next question becomes, how many do we have to sell? So that the net income was be zero. That is, what number do we need to sell so the net income will be zero? Any guesstimates about how many we would need to sell so that the net income will be zero? Or any calculation of the amount? How many do we need to sell so that the net income will be zero? So how many we got to sell, Hubert?
I'm
Krishan,
still
how many we got to sell?
I'm still playing with the numbers. I could guess 20 though.
You guessed 20. So Krishan says if we sell 20, so what sales going to be, Krishan?
It's gonna be 36,000. I mean 30,000, my bad.
What's cost going to be?
10,000.
Okay, 20 times. So our contribution margin is now what?
20,000. Okay, not close.
Well, you were close, but we're still going to have 24,000 here.
Yeah.
So 20 doesn't work.
Is it 24, Professor? Let me see.
Is it 24?
Yeah.
We'll try it. What's 24 times 1,500?
36,000.
And what's 24 times 500?
That's 12,000.
So this gives us a contribution margin of what?
24,000.
When that's 0. So you'll be ready to do a quiz like this on next class period
Yeah.
and come up with this?
Yeah, this is pretty easy.
But it's pretty easy.
Yeah, you just gotta play with the numbers, but it wasn't
Well,
that bad.
suppose we didn't want to play with the numbers. You would want to be working, right? And so you would need to be able to calculate, we just say a break-even quantity. It would be good if we had a formula, right?
Yeah.
So suppose I told you that formula would be what I told you to memorize: fixed costs divided by CM. So that's going to equal 24,000 divided by the CM. And what is the CM? How do
24.
we calculate it? How do we calculate the CM?
The sales minus the variable cost.
So selling price minus the variable cost. See? So this is then gonna equal what? 24,000 divided by what?
24,000.
Well, selling price was what? 1,500.
Oh yeah.
Fixed cost is what? 500. So will that work to give us 24 units?
Professor Boyd, how'd you get the 500?
Well, if we look in this first column,
Mm-hmm.
selling price is 1,500.
Oh, I see.
Variable cost is 500. Fixed cost is 24,000. So those are our assumptions.
Right.
So we said that you're supposed to memorize these formulas. Break-even quantity equals fixed cost minus contribution margin. And contribution margin is selling price minus variable cost. So it equals 24,000 Got that, Krishan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ready to move on since it's so easy. Okay, suppose we put a loss down here of 20,000. Thanks. Suppose I told you the loss was 20,000. I asked you how many units sold would produce a loss of 20,000. So 1 unit produced a loss of 23,000. 10 units produced a loss of 14,000. How many units would produce a loss of 20,000? How many would you say? Got this quiz now. You got to break even. Now you got to come up with a loss. Nathaniel, how many would it take? How many do we think it would take?
$32.
How many? How many?
I said 32, but I was just saying a number.
Just saying a number. Well, if 24 break even, 32 would probably make a profit. So we put in 32. So 32 times sales of 1,500 would be what? What's 32 times 1,500?
48,000.
What's our cost gonna be? 32 times what? 500? How much is that?
1,600. I mean, not 1,600, 16,000.
So what's our contribution margin gonna be?
3,200, 32,000.
Fixed cost of what? 24,000?
Oh Lord, that's not right.
So that will give us a profit of 8,000. So what then do you glean from that? What does that tell you about what the quantity needs to be? If break
Number
even
high.
is 24, the quantity might need to be more than 24, less than 24. To lose, we said we wanted to lose how much? 10,000, right?
I thought you said you wanted to lose 20,000.
Say what?
I thought you said you wanted to lose 20,000.
Was it? Well, 20,000 then. That's fine. Let's go with 20,000. So if you want to lose 20,000, what does that tell you? About the quantity if break even is 24?
So it should be less than 24.
That's a good point. It has to be less than 24. So we come to what's called a target loss formula. Target loss. That's always going to equal fixed costs minus target loss divided by the CM. Work that formula to see if you can get an amount that's going to reduce a loss of 20,000. Okay.
I got 4, Professor Boyd.
You got 4?
Yeah.
Let's put a 4 up here. What's 4 times 1,500?
6,000.
What's 4 times 500?
2,000.
So the contribution margin on a dollar basis at this level is how much?
4,000.
And our fixed costs were what?
24,000.
So does that produce our loss?
Yes.
Goodness.
Yeah, I got 4 too.
Oh, good, good. All right, so we got to think big like we're in Chicago now. Suppose we want to make $1 million. How many do we have to sell now to make $1 million?
It's the same formula, right?
Well,
Well, instead of subtracting the target loss, would you add it?
that's a good thought process. So when we're dealing with a target profit, it's going to be parentheses fixed costs plus the target profit
I got 1,024.
less the CM. Okay. So you say you got 1,024?
Yes, I did 24,000. The fixed cost plus the target cost of 1 million divided by 1,500 minus 50, which gave me 1,024.
So let's see if we can look at that. So the fixed cost was 24,000. Then we're gonna increase it by the target profit. And then we're gonna divide all of that by the CM. And if you work that through, CM being what, 1,000, then this comes out to be 1,024. Let's go ahead and prove it. 1,024 times 1,500 is what?
1,536,000.
Shift outside. 1 million, comma, 536, comma, 000. What happened here? What's our cost?
$512,000.
What's our contribution margin?
$1,024,000.
We subtract out the 24,000, have the $1 million. Any questions? Can everybody do this? Fill out a chart like this.
Yes.
No, I can't do it, but I'll figure it out.
No, you can't do it, you figure it out.
I'm gonna figure it
Professor
out.
Boyd, on that to get the when I gave you the number 1,024 and you're going down the line, how'd you get the variable cost?
We simply multiply whatever this quantity is times a unit variable cost.
Oh, okay.
That's
what
why we do 1 unit first. You got everything you need over here.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That me see here. What it is. Okay. Let me see if everybody can do this. Since everybody said everybody except Terrell said they could do it. Everybody but Terrell said they could do it.
Can we go over another one? No.
Yeah, let's go over another one.
Want to go over another one?
If the quantity given, I know how to do it.
Shekinah said the quantity is given, she knows how to do it. Okay, let's look at another one then. So we always will keep the one in so that you can do the first one, of course. So suppose we were selling those books, you know. Selling price of the book is $100. The ink, better tab these over. So assume the ink is $20. Paper is $5. Label rate let's assume we pay them $50 an hour. And the labor productivity, they can make 10 per hour. They can make 10 per hour. And our total fixed cost will make total fixed cost $200,000. So we're going to go up here. You are going to fill this out. Similar to what you're going to do on your project. You're going to do it for one. Then you're going to calculate the quantity if you were to lose 100,000. Okay. Then I want the quantity for break even. Then I want the quantity if you're going to make $1 million. So for the information that you have here, I want you to fill this table out. Are there any questions? If I can delete some space here.
So the quantity is not provided. We only doing chart 1.
Say that again.
We only doing the first column, or we doing the whole thing?
You're doing the first 4. You're doing me 1, then you're doing me $100,000 loss, a break even, a $1 million gain.
I'm lost. I need help.
Why you lost, Brady?
Because the first time we did it, a quantity was provided for all of the columns. Now it's
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. You've been asleep, Brady.
nuh-uh.
We was doing our tests.
I was really doing my test.
Uh-huh. You're supposed to be finished. Not when I start talking, you're supposed to turn your test in.
Oh, I turned it in at 5. Well,
No,
you was out.
that's just the increments that they're in.
Okay.
So what you've got to do is to fill this table out for your second quiz for the day. And then you'll have another quiz like this when we get to class on Thursday. So you're going to know how to do this. So this will be a little practice quiz now. I want you to fill this out and plan to turn it in.
Hey, Professor Boyd.
Yes, sir.
Can I do this quiz in tutorials tomorrow?
In tutorials, you don't come in tutorials anymore.
I second that. I'm gonna be there tomorrow, Dr.
I
Boyd.
don't know what's going on, but you know, my schedule has just dramatically shifted to the left. So
Is it on Blackboard?
Getting ready to put it in there.
Oh,
So Terrell doing his in tutorial, everybody else get to do theirs in tutorial?
not everybody. This ain't, listen, I'm speaking for me.
well, I guess that
Don't-
is everybody. Well, I see everybody in tutorials tomorrow. Do quiz.
Hello?
We
Wait,
don't have anybody ready to do it today?
No,
I'm
ready
ready
to
for
do what
silent
today?
girl.
I was
What?
ready to do the parts you showed us today. That was it. Then you said we got to fill out the entire thing by ourselves. Oh no. Oh no, you lost me.
I'll say that.
Wait, Professor Boy, you're talking about just with the selling price, ink and paper to fill it in?
Yeah, see.
Okay, so let's talk about sales.
So this is
Is that just
CVP Quiz 1, fall of 2020. Let me save it. And let me go to Blackboard and put it in.
When is it gonna be due?
Who said that?
Me.
you can end it you can end it at 5 tomorrow.
I agree.
That's gonna be at the study hall.
Is variable cost the unit cost?
A late person, that's the variable cost.
I'm just making sure because I was doing my quiz when you started talking.
Me too, Joanna.
So the unit cost is what is the same thing as the variable cost. So we calculate those numbers.
Okay, let me. So CVP Quiz 1.
BTQ. Yeah, we're gonna have to hit this whole thing.
Is there a price multiple, a selling price multiple?
No, not yet.
The sales price is 100, variable cost. So contribution margin. What?
Wait, Professor Boy, you said we have another quiz tomorrow or Thursday?
Now,
Wait, I thought we were.
I'm confused.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, I thought we was practicing doing like an
Yeah,
example question right now.
yeah, that me too.
And the quiz is on Thursday.
Dr. Boy, I think we're trying to say we need help.
No, because we got to
I was
understand
come
how to
to
put
tutoring
it.
if you needed help.
I
I
told
do.
you
I come to
tomorrow.
tutoring.
I said I'm gonna be there tomorrow.
Yeah, I come to tutor.
I come to tutoring.
This is the first day, so it takes us a little, warm up.
Okay, so
Please.
Can you teach us how to fill it out, how to get our sales and
Please
variable cost?
the group.
okay, so
what?
it is in assignments. So what I want you to do is to do as much as you can for about 15 minutes. Then we're gonna go over it, and we'll be on a different one in office hours tomorrow. Practice one there, then we'll have another one on Thursday. Now, you've got to be able to, you saw how you have selling price, which is now going to be a multiple. You'll have to create your multiple of your variable cost only. So it's going to be a multiple of variable cost only as we work about planning, okay? So let's see. Everybody got their thing in assignments now. Let's see if we can go through it for one. Actually, I gave you this quantity 1 here, Joanna. We said our selling price is what?
$100.
if y'all trying to make this hard, selling price is 100. Our variable cost. Now the difference here, we got to add these up to get the variable cost. And let me see if Joanna's gonna get this right. What's the variable
So
cost?
you adding all the
175.
selling paper, labor rate, labor pay.
25.
Would it be 175?
No,
Oh wait. It's gonna be 130.
no, that's not gonna be the variable cost. Shakana?
Wait.
Oh wait, what am I talking about? It's gonna be
I wonder what's taking y'all
175.
so long.
30. It's gonna be 30.
Well, thank you.
Oh, you just adding ink and paper together?
I divided the $50 by 10, and then I added, so that's 5, and I added that to 20 and 5.
The lady, yeah, so finally she gets that right.
Because
So,
you put that selling price right there and confused me.
Wait, can you say that again? How'd you get 30?
20 for the ink,
Mm-hmm.
5 for the paper. Since your labor rate is 50 and they make 10 per hour, it's $5 you divide. But then it's our contribution margin. Might it be $70?
You just did 100 minus 30, Professor,
Where?
to get the contribution margin.
Yep, that's how we got it.
Okay.
Sales minus variable cost. So you have more than one variable cost. On the next quiz, you have more than one fixed cost. So we're moving up gradually. So you got more than one variable cost.
Can you say how you got the contribution margin again?
Sales minus variable cost equals contribution margin. 100 minus 30 gives you 70. It gives you the contribution margin.
Okay.
So if we sold one item, what would our loss be?
If you what would your loss be?
Yeah, we sold just one item.
Wouldn't you have a gain?
No, you wouldn't have a gain because you got to pay $200,000, Joanna.
Where'd you get the 200,000 from?
That's the fixed cost.
That's given? Oh, I didn't see that. Okay. That's not on the quiz that you sent us.
It's not on the quiz.
No.
Add it, please. You know, these formulas will all change in terms of dollars. The formulas stay the same. But you got to be able to work with these formulas automatic so you can finish stuff on a timely basis.
Oh, man.
Would it be that you lost 190? I mean, subtract fixed costs.
You don't know how much you lost?
Wouldn't you do 200,000 divided by 70?
Oh, no.
That's the
You
final
had
cost.
distracted now.
The fixed cost minus the.
Yeah.
I'm looking at your formula, but.
There's no formula. It's just an income statement. You know how to do
So
it?
you just subtract the $100 that we made from our fixed costs.
You made 70.
Made 70. So we subtract $70 from 200,000.
Yes. That's 199.
199, 930.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
So you always want to start out seeing what happens with one item. Now, on your project, you're going to be required to come up with the quantity sold for 100, break even, make $1 million. So that means you need your variable costs. So in fact, your quiz next time will be on your project.
Whoa.
So the teams will be filling out this chart for their project on Thursday. So you gotta have all your costs ready. So we'll do a basic quiz like this, and then we'll get into your project in terms of this data. And then we'll begin to work on part 2 of the project. Now, there's an example of part 2 of the project in course content. So you need to review that in detail. And you got to have that done by the end of the day on Friday. You must have that done by the end of the day on Friday.
Can you repeat that? Have what done?
Part 2 of the project.
And that's this? This is part 2?
A little bit more. Check course content. You'll see an example of part 2.
Okay, can you teach us?
Have that done on Friday by each team.
Okay, can you teach us what to do already given the net income?
Say that again.
Can you teach us what to do given the net income or the net loss of $100,000 for number 2?
You're doing number 2.
The formula right.
Why don't we break even first? Okay.
Okay.
So to get this break even quantity, I got to come and use this formula.
So FC divided by CM.
Yep, that's what you're doing.
So when you say break even,
when this number is going to be 0.
Oh, okay.
Minus variable costs, contribution margin minus fixed costs.
What number gonna be 0?
This number right.
I'm getting decimals.
That could happen this round. So the fixed costs that we're working with now sort of is staying the same, 200,000. So you got to be within $100 at least.
Professor Boyd, what did you mean when you said that that we will have more than one fixed cost?
But it's just like you added up your variable costs, you're going to be adding up your fixed costs.
Okay.
Whoa, what's that?
So on your project, you'll have a selling price less variable cost. Direct materials, direct labor, you also will have selling expenses and bad debt expense. So this is how your project is going to look and what we'll be working with on next time. Then you'll have 3 fixed costs: manufacturing overhead, administrative expense, and interest expense. And you'll be making those calculations based on that. So all projects will have variable cost, direct materials based on how many materials you're using, labor. You have a selling expense and a bad debt expense. Then you have a manufacturing overhead, administrative expense, interest expense. So you need to begin to work on those. But the starting point is you got to be able to do this chart for your project. But of course, those costs have to be right. So how y'all coming on the break-even year?
Would the contribution margin be 100,000?
Give me a quantity.
Oh,
That's the starting point.
I had got
What you got?
I got 2,857.14.
Let's just go with 2,857.
Okay.
can you tell me
I
how
don't
you?
understand that formula.
What?
I don't understand the formula.
Let's go to the formula. The formula says the fixed cost, which is what?
200,000.
200,000.
It shifts $200. I thought y'all said y'all understood this.
One.
Ooh, no, I didn't get it at all.
Okay, divided by selling price minus variable cost, which is the contribution margin. We've calculated the contribution margin right here on a unit basis.
So this only applies to the break-even column, and then we fill in the rest after we do the break-even.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But we're just doing that one first since that's the basic one. So do you see that? So it's going to be the fixed cost divided by this number. So what do we come up with?
70.
Well, okay, so 200,000 divided by 70.
Oh, that's 2,857.
Okay, so that's
Wait,
about,
it's 28,571.14.
we round to a whole number.
Oh, okay. Wait, so you did
You divided 200,000, the fixed cost,
by
by
the
70, the contribution margin.
what about the selling price minus VC?
Oh, that's what that is. Selling price minus V50 equals 70. That's what this is
Or
showing.
maybe you should just move that out the way because that's distracting me.
What's distracting you?
Selling price minus VC.
Is your contribution margin 70? And
Yeah, I
you see,
know. I thought we had to add something else or something.
that's all you got to do. All right, so let's see how 2,857 works. What's 100 times 2,857? Is that 285,700?
Yeah, that's right.
What's the variable cost going to be?
Would it be 30 still?
30 times 2,857.
85,710.
85,710. What's our contribution margin?
199,990.
As long as you're within $100, you're okay. So here, you would be, you'd have about $10. So as long as you're within $100, you're okay, one way or the other, because around. That's all it is. Okay?
How do we get the variable cost again? Multiply the quantity times what?
The variable cost, $30.
Oh, so 2,000.
Over here, Chicago.
Okay.
Then whenever you're working with your quantities, you come over here and multiply.
Okay.
Oh Lord, I'm gonna be in office hours tomorrow.
So
So
what?
for the target loss, you're gonna do FC minus the target loss, then you're going to divide that by the CM to get the quantity sold?
That's correct.
Okay, cool.
Huh? Can you repeat that?
You're going to do the FC minus the target loss, and then you're going to divide that by the CM.
This is for the second column?
Yes.
Okay.
Go to this
When
form,
the,
Joanna.
I'm just making sure like of the terminology. So when the net loss is already calculated, that would be considered the target loss?
Correct.
Okay. And then what is TP? Is that when we, okay,
Target
gotcha.
profit.
Got it.
And
Thank you.
now on, we will be working with a break even, of course, of 0, a target loss of 100,000, and a target profit of $1 million. So these will stay the same. So if you can get this filled out by 6:30, you'll get some points. Turn it in. If not, just kind of a bonus one, but it's getting you working on it. And the only way you learn this is to work on it.
Oh, man.
On this one in office hours tomorrow, and then we'll move on to another one.
One more time. How did I get the variable cost? How did I get 30 again? Did I do 20 plus the 10 hours? 10 per hours?
Can you just work on this?
Oh, no.
You
You do
I only
50
got-
divided by to get
did
5, and then you
work
add
on this on
5,
a
5, and
quiz?
20.
Wait, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Did you just work on this on a quiz?
I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember coming up with the total product cost on the quiz?
Oh, never mind. Okay, don't worry about it. I got you.
So we're doing the same thing. We got a selling, we don't have a multiple, we got a selling price. We'll create a multiple eventually.
I have a question.
But 20, 5, and 5 gives you 30. Yes, what's your question?
Okay, so I used your formula and I got the quantity, and once I plugged it in, like with all the steps, my net income is not 100,000.
It's supposed to be a loss.
So it's gonna
So
be
for the
less than 100,000.
It should be, you need to be within $100 of a $100,000 loss.
second column, we first start by calculating the contribution margin instead of the quantity like we did with the break even one.
Your contribution margin is $70,
Same.
I mean for the second one.
and it's gonna stay 70. All right. You ain't got to do nothing. Once you got a calculator, you got a calculator. So you can put that 7 in each one of those formulas. As the what? Denominator. Y'all remember denominators?
How you trying to play us?
That's funny.
So we're just showing you that once you calculate this 70, that you kind of didn't like this column, then that 70 is at the bottom of each one of the formulas. The top changes, in one case, it's just the fixed cost. In the next
So can
case,
I change that 100,000? That's my thing.
what you want to change it to?
What my number is not adding up to 100,000.
Well, it should be close. I told you just got to be within $100.
Well, it's 99,000.
You need to be within $100.
But if we're doing a loss, you said we're doing that's the second formula, right?
Loss. So what's the quantity?
I have 1,429.
1,000 what?
429.
1,429.
Well, the actual number was 1,428.57. I rounded to
1,000 what?
1,428.57.
Okay, so 1,429 is fine.
Okay.
I got the same thing, Shakana.
All right, so what's the sales gonna be on 1,429?
142,900.
What's the variable cost gonna be?
100,030.
100,030.
Mm-hmm.
Log off, but I'll see you tomorrow at 3:00.
All right, okay. So 1,429 times 30 is what?
Wait, 114 times.
Oh, what we on?
42.
4 million.
No, 4 million.
42,870. What's that, Jasmine?
That
So
was.
what's our difference now?
Hold up.
I really got that. How did I get that?
Wait, can you say how you got the quantity again? I keep forgetting how to get the quantity in the first place.
Using this formula, well,
I got 100,030.
on the target loss, it's going to be fixed cost 200 minus this loss 100.
Mm-hmm.
So 100,000
100 by 70.
So for the contribution margin,
It's how
it's
much?
gonna be 100,030. 030. No, 030.
Okay, I'm subtracting.
So what's your loss?
Divided by.
Is it going to be something like 99?
Yeah.
99,970.
Is that within $100,000? $100, I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the rounding causes it to be off some. Not going to be exact unless I pull some exact numbers. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I did, to get the quantity for the second one, I did 200,000 minus 100,000 divided by 70.
That's correct.
And that's not, but I didn't get that answer that y'all got.
Something wrong with your calculator.
Okay.
Hey, Professor Boy, I gotta go, but I'll be at office hours tomorrow.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna let y'all do 4 by yourself. Work on it. So this is just something you got to work a bunch of them, okay, and get this down. It's not hard. You got 3 formulas, which I told you to memorize last class period. I told you to memorize it again today so you know how it works. Then you got this chart, and you do need all the columns in terms of being, going through this. And once you can knock this down, you'll be in good shape for the rest of the course. But you can't do your project or anything else if you can't do this, because this is the starting point of your project. How many you gonna make to lose 100,000, break even, make $1 million? You all have a pleasant afternoon and pleasant accounting work and other work.
Wait, before you go.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So for number 4, we're going to add 200,000 plus $1 million and then divide that by 70 to get the quantity sold.
Correct.
Okay.
Say that one more time, Joanna.
And when it's due, so I can turn it in.
This exact problem, because I'm sure I'm gonna do it too. For bonus points,
So he said,
Get it in.
I need it.
Okay, I did 200,000 plus $1 million
Uh-huh.
divided by 70.
Okay, got you.
Okay. Money team.
Money
All
team.
right, so finish up. How we doing, Miss Prudence? Can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Can't hear you now.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna talk to your class because then they didn't come. Nobody came to sign up for like NAPA and Beta for Psi and stuff.
Students told me that they emailed you and you didn't return their emails.
I did.
Something happened, but I asked the students about it in both those classes because I put it in the announcements for Terrell did this class. He sent the information. He had to sign up, Terrell Stafford. So he gave the sign up information to this class. I don't know if they did. The two principals, one said they never heard from you.
I
I'm
did reply.
I'm trying to join it too, but I can't figure out the information on who to email. So I can email you, Prudence.
I'm gonna get with Angela because I got 2 emails. I did reply and I forwarded their names to Angela. I'm gonna have to reach out to Angela because Angela said she was gonna like send them messages to let them know like the next step of what they're supposed to do.
I
All
don't
I'm
think
trying
they
to do.
heard anything from the what is it? Was it Deloitte or whoever was sign up to own? They said they didn't hear anything.
But I sent every information to like Angela and stuff for like those who sent me
Follow up
messages.
on it. And so as a result, none of the students heard anything. So, they didn't get the link to sign in. So we just need to reschedule possibly.
We just do it up to number 4 and then turn it in, right?
That's correct.
Professor Boyd, is it okay if we get like $10 over $1 million? Because when you round it,
That's fine. You just need to be within $100, Krishan.
okay. I'm
Yeah, you
about to
should
submit
not
it
have
now.
been holding back and waiting on other people. You learn your lesson, right?
Mm-hmm.